our persuasion to all the members across the nation is that let us all join our hands together and we vote for the greater agenda. We vote for Florence Birya, and that is the person that we need at the council for the council to be complete. Otherwise, she is ready to do that kind of a job. And we thank her because in the middle of amidst all our busy schedules, she always finds time to be finds time to be at East Park Affairs. And that is one of the most important factors that we are considering. Because she will always be there. She will never make noise. She will never create excuses not to absent herself from the meetings and other affairs. So our availability is very, very, very key. And also important is that she's very practical when it comes to doing work. When it comes to handling matters, she is practical. She does not rely on theories or stories. She's very practical and she has hands-on uh, expertise on all the matters that we think ISPAC really requires. And therefore, my persuasion is that let us vote CPA Florence Birya. Let us vote for the greater agenda so that our ISPAC will be complete. Thank you so much.
Oh yes, let's appreciate that. Right there, let's appreciate him. Very well. Very, very important point that, of course, CPA Walter has presented in regard to why CPA Florence is the best bet as a council member. I picked out on the policy formulation abilities, which are standing out, and of course, are practical in her approach and hands-on on issues that, of course, CPAs and FCPAs will want them addressed at the council level. Thank you, sir, for joining us and for that candid conversation that you had. And of course, we believe that even those of us, the FCPAs and the CPAs joining us online, will agree that indeed we need the energy of CPA Florence at the council, and things can only get better. Thank you for the lobbying, and I know in the coming weeks, lots and lots of this lobbying will still continue. Right now, I want to welcome our very own CPA Emma to also join in this conversation on why it is very necessary for us to vote for CPA Florence as a council member. Let's appreciate CPA Emma as she comes to talk to us. I know you're a great mobilizer, and I know you will lobby very well for this candidature. Karibu.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, CPA.
My name is CPA Emmeline. You can call me CPA Emma. I am the Secretary and CPD Convener of Coast Branch. And I am so happy and excited to be here. And after a very strong speech from Walter, I am thinking, what should I say now? Because he has said so powerfully, he has articulated everything about CPA Florence. So I think a lot has been said about CPA Florence, but I'll say something that I know is I think most of us are singing about Florence. One, Florence is a mentor. I remember when I was, last year actually, when I was running for the secretary and CPD convener, I got overwhelmed and the last minute. And I was like, oh, this one is happening. It's too tough for me. I can't be able to go through it. Because that particular time I had some other challenges, and also coming into the election, politics and elections, campaigns can make you go crazy. Yeah. So you just, where is Zachary? Zachary was taking me hard on. So at that particular time, I found it, and then Florence called me like, no, you can do this. This is what, you are in this. So I think that one approach that she took and communicated to me and gave me that hope that you can do it when I was almost thinking that this is hard to go through the campaign because all this heated debate and everybody talking from all around. So I can say for true, she's a mentor, and she has mentored so many people to be into the leadership. And as girl child, when you see someone like her, we say the sky is the limit. Yeah, we will also, watch on her footsteps to be able to, take through all that process. And then one other thing I know, she's someone that whatever she stands for, what is right. Yeah, if there is one thing I know, she's not easily intimidated. She's that person that whenever she believes on something that this has to be done this way, she will boldly say it and she'll stand for it. So one thing I know, she's going to represent us in the best manner or in the best right way. And when it comes to experience with governance, policies, that is the place you shouldn't be worried. So I feel like she's the right candidate, and she will do an amazing, because a lot of things I think we are also facing as the CPAs and FCPAs is that we have uh, we have policies that some are stagnant, like some of us who have come along and said that they need to be acted on. And with her experience, she has been, with her experience of leadership from the county to the national, I believe that it will be a way or an easy way for us to be able to experience a change as CPAs. And as Chair had said, we should look on leaders, we should vote for leaders that we look, that they actually helping us to achieve what we were actually looking forward or we're actually missing, rather than having to go for leaders just for the sake of you know uh, uh, posters and all this. But we need to work on the agendas and see who actually stands in for the CPAs. So I want to wish my sister all the best, and we got your back. And as course branch, I know we're going to stand with her. Hii ni yetu, si ndio? Hii ni yetu bwana. So hii imeenda. Yeah, so we are very happy that at least, we are one out of the, I think what Coast branch is one of the marginalized, branches. I think we are one whereby hatujaingia kwa council hivyo hivyo rahisi rahisi. So I feel it's a challenge for us, and to also to encourage a lot of us who are also looking for, we know we can lead, we can help others, we can motivate others to come also to take this journey of leadership. Yeah, we have seen in other counties whereby people are coming to to volunteer, to lead, and to do all this. So I think it's a good it's a good approach that we are learning from you who are ahead of us, and we want to wish you all the best. Honestly, a lot has been said, and I want to wish you all the best. May God grant you a win. Thank you so much.
Let's appreciate CPA Emma one more time. Let's appreciate her. Let's appreciate her. Thank you, thank you, thank you for those very encouraging sentiments on the leverage on why actually CPA Florence should take this position. A lady who has a stand. She's not easily intimidated. She's equally highly qualified both in the public and private sectors. And of course, you underscored the fact that she has been a great mentor and of course a trailblazer, and of course with the technical expertise that she has also gathered, it will only be prudent that we support her bid and ensure she gets this chance at the council level. I think we are coming in so well, and this is really very encouraging to hear, both virtually, those who are joining us online, all of you. We want to appreciate you, and of course, in person, those of us CPAs, FCPAs who are here, we also want to say thank you for coming to support this bid of our very own CPA Florence Birya. Now, without further ado, we want to welcome one of our very key members, our former chair, one and only. This should be FCPA Dalton. FCPA Dalton, welcome. Come and talk to us and share on why this bid is very remarkable at this time. Welcome, sir. We appreciate your time. You came in early and you've been patient all along. Karibu.
Good, good evening. Good evening, and all the members online. Yes, I came early because I know how to keep time. I'm African, but I put English. I take English time to this.
Let's appreciate that you came early.
Yeah. So how do I know Florence? I've known I think Florence for over 10 years. Yeah? Initially I used to work in Nairobi, so when I came back to Nyumbani, Voi. So I joined the Coast branch, and at that point we started being politicians of the profession. That around between 2013 2015 there. So I was defeated by those who are, because I went for a higher position, vice chair, and never been known in the branch. So after losing, I became the county representative for Taitaveta, and he was the county representative for Kilifi. And during that time, I think that's when the devolution started, and the key KPIs were about visits to the governors and some CSR. So I was the first to take the ice park HQ to the Taveta County, the first administration of the county government, Engineer Murutu's administration, and then from there we had a CSR in Kenyatta Matate, Kenyatta High School Matate. And then she followed suit. We went to Kilifi. That's when I realized she comes from there, and we went to a school there in Mnarani. So those days we did, CSR is not as much as is being done in uh, the current branch activities, but that time we did it. I went to that school, and that's when I knew she's an alumni of Alliance, and the way she talks, she can shake the world. And even when men are there, just say, hey, there's a leader here. From there, the memory of 2020, she's the COVID chair. I was the COVID vice chair. So I remember those moments, and moving around, doing campaigns. We moved and we went to places where even people had not gone earlier. We went to counties, Kwale and Kilifi, went to Mombasa County, went to the KPA, even when they were not allowing anybody to enter, but through our strategies, we managed and we won. We got equivalent votes. The way people voted, if it was, I think it was 235, 235 for chairman, for the vice chair, and then secretary. That time it was, I think it was heated debate, heated the competition, but we won. Even at this moment, as now maybe they are vying for 2 slots, and I think there are 9 candidates. She's up the task. In fact, this was born around 2023, end of year, Christmas. We were, I think, at Mawezi or at there's a place in Nyali, I think, when we were having our evening. And then we said, with our other leaders, the branch leaders, former chair Mukoa and the others, the rest. So we said, come this year, there'll be some positions. Why not cost? We've been supporting the way others have said. Why can't we be in the ballot? So we were, me, her, and the team there had to assure her that I'm not vying. Because I know people have been asking, yes. And there was another lady, and we were sure so she's not vying. So it remained, it was her. So that Christmas, I think we had our end of year party. We had visitors from other branches. We also went to other branches, and I told her, if the energy is there, let's go to all the branches. We were there in Machakos, and that was Eastern branch. So I know she went to Mount Kenya and the rest. And that's why we're saying let's tell these candidates in those branches that we helped them in the previous ones, let them rally behind us. So I am wishing you well. And as the other chairman emeritus and the current chair has come to bless you, she has already left. We are also blessing you. So as we continue these campaigns and as we approach the voting dates, let everybody pick that place where is Florence Birya. And when they count, they'll not mistake. They'll be surely that among the two candidates for council, Florence Birya will be in there. Thank you.
Thank you, FCPA Dalton. Let's appreciate him one more time. Let's appreciate him. Thank you for your candidness, and thank you for also sharing those very great sentiments on why we believe and, of course, want to ensure that we support the candidature of CPA Florence Birya. Of course, a few key highlights, as you've mentioned, she's got the energy, the tenacity, the formidability to actually be able to clinch the seat. And with our support, that will actually become a reality. And of course, with the blessings pronounced as well, this becomes a very good rallying point that we can all use. And of course, going forward, just ensure that we become lieutenants on our other members so that when, just like you rightfully put it, when the time comes, we'll be able to vote for her and ensure that she actually clinches this particular position. Our CPAs and FCPAs online. If there's any one of us who would also want to say something, the technical team here tells me it's possible, right? They can actually be able to speak from wherever they are. So maybe you might need to just raise your hand on the platform, and we will ensure you get unmuted and, of course, allow you to say something in regard to how best we know CPA Florence and why we believe her bid is a bid that we need to champion for and actually ensure that she clinches it and brings it home. So from the online platforms, you'll be able to tell me if there's any of our CPAs, FCPAs who has raised their hand and they might want to also share in this particular momentous occasion that we are having right here. So I've deliberately not allowed all of us to speak because I've been guided that we just pick a few of us. Then the rest of us, by virtue of us being here, is a sign that we are already throwing our weight behind our candidate. Let's give ourselves a round of applause for coming. Let's appreciate ourselves for coming and already showing her that ground iko sawa na tutazidi kutengeneza ground iwe fiti ili tuweze kumpatia mkono, tumunge mkono kabisa na wenzetu na tuhakikishe kwamba when it matters actually the votes are cast and that she will be able to get this particular position. I'm very sure all of us are eager to hear this great agenda from the lady herself, and that is why we are here. That is why we are joining online. CPA Judith Birya, CPA Andrew Mbusu, my senior there, CPA Ruth Kerito, CPA Risk Olik, Abiba Wako. I know CPA Andrew must say something, so get ready to unmute your microphone side. Good to see you. It's been a minute. Yes, will be talking to us. CPA Victor, good to CPA Lawrencita. CPA Lawrencita, your microphone is on. Are you ready to speak a little bit on how you know CPA Florence and why you believe this candidature is perfect at this time? CPA Lawrence. Lawrence Akwapa. Oh, nimpatie nani? It's our mic. Okay. So, oh, that's why I'm seeing it beeping. Any of the CPAs, CPA Andrew, you want to say something on your working relations with CPA Florence? Yes, that means CPA Andrew, take it away, please. Your mic has been unmuted. We are.
Can you? Good evening. Can you hear me?
CP Andrew, come in.
Can you hear me?
The voice is lagging.
Ca-
I think he's
Can you
speaking.
hear me? Good. Good evening. Can you? Good evening. Can you hear me?
Very clearly. Let's give a round of applause to CP Andrew. Yes, we can hear you, CP Andrew. We are glad you have joined us. Proceed.
Can you hear me?
Very well.
Thank you so much. Good evening.
Good evening, CP Andrew. It's lagging. There's a lag a little.
There is some delay between time I speak and the time the voice comes out.
Proceed, CPA.
Okay, thank you so much. Good evening, FCPAs and CPAs present there, and those of us who are following online. It was my desire to be in that room, but probably due to some commitments, I didn't make it. So my apologies to CPA Florence. I am glad and happy to see your boldness and the fact that you went through the nomination process and we have you on the ballot. You have my support. And as Coast Branch, as Mombasa County chapter, we shall see that we deliver this council member position home because we are all behind you. We shall talk to our friends because we believe in your leadership, having been our previous chair in Coast Branch, and you did a good job. Though I didn't interact with the CPA Florence, the leadership, the achievement of a leader is usually experienced by those who come after the leader. And I have worked under FCPA Dalton, who used to work with Florence and is actually the one who took over the office immediately. And we did an excellent job. Looking at the road ahead, I am sure we shall never miss anything with you in that council. So congratulations once more, and let's work together to deliver the seat. Thank you so much, and cheers, my colleagues who are there. Thank you for supporting our candidate. Bye bye. We shall never miss anything with you in that council. So congratulations once more, and let's work together to deliver the seat. Thank you so much, and cheers, my colleagues who are there. Thank you for supporting our candidate. Bye-bye.
Thank you, CP Andrew. Let's appreciate CP Andrew one more time. Thank you. That was very candid. Thank you for your support already, and of course, we are glad that you are behind this candidature, and with your support and lobbying with our other members, we are very sure that we shall deliver this home. Will we have another member online? Maybe the last one. Okay, let's bring in also RISPA, CPA RISPA. I'm told your microphone has been unmuted. CPA RISPA, unmute CPA RISPA, please.
Hello, FCPS and CPS. Can you hear me? Good evening. Can you hear me,
The technical
MC?
team tells me RISPA, CPA RISPA, you can proceed. Loud and clear.
Someone confirm if you could hear. You can hear me, please.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hear you. Proceed, please.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you for this opportunity. Good evening, FCPS and CPS. This is CPA Risk Paulik. Happy to. I think there's a bit of a sound problem. Pardon me for the echo.
Good evening.
But for those who are hearing me, like I said, this is CPA Risk Paulik. Happy to join CPA Florence for her manifesto launch. I think there's a bit of a sound problem. MC confirm, can you hear me, please? But for those who are hearing me, like I said, this is CPA Risk Paulik. Happy
We can hear you, CPA Respect. We can hear you.
Yeah,
Can
I
proceed.
think for the online audience, you can hear me. There could be a problem with the connection of sound on the ground, but I'll just be brief and say that I'm happy to join FCPA Florence for her manifesto launch, and also to just
Yes,
congratulate her for the bold step.
we can hear you.
It's not easy for one to lift their hand for service, and CPA Florence has a good track record of serving the profession, even at the branch. Her contribution to her contribution in the service in serving the profession has been great, and I just want to congratulate her and wish her well, even as she launches her manifesto, shares her vision with us for continuous serving to East Park and the profession at large. So let me not speak much. I'm a candidate to vying for the chairman position, and together, God granting us a chance, we will work and continue to collaborate. I mean, work together and collaborate as we build our prestigious institution and institute, ISPAC. And of course working together with everybody else in all those other spaces. So I will not take so much time. Thanks for the opportunity. Coast Branch, I will be there on Saturday, God willing. I look forward to meeting most of you, if not all of you. Let us engage, let us continue networking. And I keep saying that beyond this campaign period, these collaboration and networks should enable us, empower each other, and serve and work together for the good and benefit of our profession. So God bless you. Congratulations, CPA Birya. I wish you the very, very best. Keep shining, keep pushing, and all shall be well. Asante, and back to you, MC, hoping that you can hear me. And work together for the good and benefits of our profession. So God bless you. Congratulations, CPA Birya. I wish you the very, very best. Keep shining, keep pushing, and all shall be well. Asante, back to you, MC.
Thank you, CPA Respond. We also wish you the very best in your candidature for council chair, and of course, God's blessings in this journey together with our very able CPA Florence Birya. Makofi kwa CPA Rispa one more time. Thank you very much. Very well. This is evidence of the goodwill that CPA Florence is already gathering, and we want to allow CPA Ann to come in next. CPA Ann, unmute your microphone. Our technical team, unmute for CPA Ann. She's on.
Thank you very much, MC. Are you able to hear me? Perfect. Thank you, CPS Sila, for giving me that heads up. My name is FCPA Ann. I'm glad to have joined
Loud and clear.
the Friends
FCPA Ann.
of CPA Florence Birya for this manifesto launch. First and foremost, to give her support during this very important session. as she tells us and she tells the members the vision that she has for the Institute. As a member of a branch, having joined Council in 2018, I want to tell Florence Birya that it is possible to break that glass ceiling. I was the first council member to have been elected outside Nairobi, and therefore I showed that there were possibilities of getting leadership into council from the branch. So congratulations, CPA Florence Birya, a former chair of a branch to whom I also served with under devolution. And therefore, I know your potential, and I know that the Institute will have value in your leadership. So as members of Coast Branch, I want you to ask that you support Florence. I know you're talking about inclusivity, but most importantly is knowing that we have value in the leadership of Florence Birya. So all the very best, Florence. We have worked together before, and therefore, as I take the leadership and seek support also for the service as an ISPAC chairman, I know our collaboration will not be starting, but will just be continuing. So I'm also coming to you members with ICUL agenda, focusing on delivering service to members, delivering value to members. And I know the same is what Florence Birya has in her manifesto. So thank you so much. All the very best. And I seek support for all of us. Your prayers will take us to where we need to be, to the Council of Excellence. So thank you very much. God bless you all. Florence Birya has in her manifesto. So thank you so much. All the very best. And I seek support for all of us. Your prayers will take us to where we need to be, to the Council of Excellence. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, FCPA Anne, and we also wish you the very best in your candidature for council chair as you journey together with CPA Florence as council member. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, let's appreciate FCPA Anne. Last but not least, online, we want to welcome CPA Professor Elizabeth Kalunda, who is the current vice chair of the council, to also briefly just pronounce her blessings to the candidature of CPA Florence. Welcome, CPA Professor Elizabeth Kalunda, current vice chair of the council, for your brief remarks. Welcome. Technical team, unmute her, please. Okay. Kindly, CPA Professor Elizabeth, our current vice chair, please unmute and speak to us in regard to the manifesto launch of the candidature of CPA Florence Birya, if you can hear us.
Yeah, thank you so much. I hope I can be heard. I could hardly hear the welcome. Members, are you able to hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you so much. I heard a voice that maybe sounded like FCPM Wadeku. So good evening, my professional colleagues, both FCPAs and CPAs. I take this opportunity to first thank CPA Birya for giving me
Yes,
an
yes, we can
opportunity
hear
to
you.
speak.
We can hear you.
And I want to thank her again very much for putting up her hand to serve in council. And this is because looking at the distribution of our membership in council, it is a long time since we've had any candidate from the coast, and I think none when it comes to a female leader. So I really want to congratulate CPA Birya for this. Secondly, I would really want to thank you because you've done a great launch for your great agenda. And I want to just say that being a candidate for the chairman position, I would be very happy to have the skill set that CPA Birya brings on board. And this is because I've known CPA Birya as a leader in terms of actually where she works, again in terms of her leadership as the chair of Coast Branch, and most importantly, where I was able to interact with her closely is when we sat together in the Research and Development Committee for 2 years. So this is a leader that is actually a leader that can bring a lot of value to the institute. So I want to wish to actually ask members to support her. I know Coast Branch has really supported her, and that's very important. And I also wish to extend that ask to other members so that we can be able to have a member who comes from a region, and especially going back to where she comes from, to a region that has never been represented in the council. So with those few remarks, I wish you all the best, and may God guide you, may God give you wisdom, and may God grant you favor in your endeavor to serve as a council member. So congratulations for this launch, and good evening all. Back to you, MC. So with those few remarks, I wish you all the best, and may God guide you, may God give you wisdom, and may God grant you favor in your endeavor to serve as a council member. So congratulations for this launch, and good evening all. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Professor CPA Elizabeth Kalunda. A big round of applause to the current Vice Chair. We extend our warm regards to you and wish you well in this journey for you becoming council chair and for the candidature of CPA Florence Birya to becoming council member. And as we've rightfully put it, you'll be glad to work with her as a council member. Thank you. We are really glad for those sentiments. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time we've all been waiting for, to officially hear from the horse's mouth as she launches this candidature. I request all of us to rise. I request all of us to rise. Let's be on our feet. Let's be on our feet and give a warm round of applause to the candidate, the lady of the evening, CPA Florence Birya. Makofi endelee, makofi endelee, makofi endelee, makofi, 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 makofi. Yes, yes, yes. Tunafurahi sana na tunasikia vizuri kuwa wote hapa pamoja, and we want to move the election here. We will move it for you so that you can have the comfort in being able to speak to us together with the other FCPAs and CPAs who are online. Yes, this is the time. When I say CPA Florence, we say correct. CPA Florence. Bado, I want the energy. Tunambless. CPA Florence. Correct. CPA Florence. CPA Florence. CPA Florence. Council member. You say incoming. Council member. Council member. Amen. Welcome. Makofi kwake tena. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. Thank you. Allow me to fix this. Thank you very much to those of us who are joining us virtually. Thank you for spending the time you have been online. Thank you for those of us who are joining physically in this particular event. Thank you very much for making time and being here. And now to our esteemed members of the Institute, FCPS, CPS, distinguished guests. And we are all distinguished guests today. And everybody who is here today as a friend, as a supporter, as a colleague, and in any other way that you have found it necessary to come and stand with Florence, CPA Florence Birya, you are recognized. And good evening. Thank you very much, everyone, for turning up and to grace this occasion of the launch of my great agenda, Manifesto. My name is CPA Florence Birya. I'm a member of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, member number 6183. I registered as a member in 2009. I have since then continued to enjoy my membership in the Institute, and I've made a lot of progress, a lot of it. I know that some has been said, but a lot has not been said because it's very personal. But together, what I've learned as a member of the Institute and what I've learned from other quarters have made me who I am today. And I'm very proud of every part of my history, of every step of the way that I've walked in the journey of my life. Because were it not for all that, I wouldn't be here today. Having said that, I want to briefly just say something very small about CP Florence Birya that a lot of us probably don't know. And when you have an event like this, probably will judge by what is happening in the room. But it is important to judge in context. And probably you realize the milestone is bigger than you can imagine. The milestone is bigger than what meets the eye. Now, CPA Florence Birya is actually a product of a journey that most of us have never imagined. A journey filled with a lot of hopes and aspirations, of resilience, of determination, of unwavering focus for me to be able to stand here today. And as I reflected about it, I was personally humbled by my own journey. And I thank God, I congratulated myself, and I said I'll not keep it to myself anymore. For the first time, I'll speak about it. The CPA Florence Birya was born in a small village in Ganze, a small shanty village, characterized by abject poverty. Eating 1 meal in 2 days was a luxury, and going to school was not even part of the talk. Okay, so I had to move from Ganze to Kaloleni, where my father worked as a laborer, so that we could be taken to school. So everybody went to school, so I did. And when I was in class 7, the neighbors felt the level of poverty that the children of this family were going through was too much. So they decided some of the girls have to be married off to be able to get some money to just raise the others. And Florence was picked to be married off. I was only 13 years old then. So without the knowledge of my parents, the woman in the neighborhood, trying to help, they got a suitor for me. Now, those who know me, they know me that I have a problem with policemen. And that suitor happened to have been a policeman who came and called me to a corner organized by some women to discuss about me getting married and solve my problem of poverty and my parents, my family's problem of poverty. So when I went into that room, I was very vulnerable. I was a very small girl, wearing tattered clothes, walking barefooted, and of course confused. So what this guy told me, introduced himself. Those of us who come from the Giriama, we know that there's something called Aroni. So that guy alikuja Aroni. You know what it means. Okay, unakuja kutafuta jiko na jiko ni mtoto wa miaka 13. So we talked and I was a bit excited. He promised me I'll be taking 2 meals in a day. That was exciting to hear about. Okay, and he told me I'll be sleeping on a bed. I'd never slept on a bed all through my life. We used to sleep on the floor. Yeah, ile magunia ya sukari si mnaijua, hiyo ndio tulikuwa ikiisha sukari tunaenda kuchukua tunakuja kulalia. So he promised me, and I remember those are the words, utakuwa ukilala kwa kitanda na utakuwa uko na bedroom na utakuwa unakula mara 2 kwa siku. And then I asked, so where will I be sleeping? He said, you'll be sleeping with me. I said, no. Okay. And then quickly asked, okay, so what will happen about me going to school? And he told me, no, I'm giving you a solution. So really, you have to take that as a solution. You cannot say no to my proposed solution. I was a bit confused. I went home. It was a bit late, around 7 o'clock. Of course, I was punished by my mother, who is a very strict disciplinarian, and wanted to find out where I'd come from. So eventually I had to explain. Nilienda kule kwa auntie, na kuna mtu alikuja kuongea na mimi. Then after telling my mother, she didn't like it. Okay? Because she had a focus. She knew only education would take us out of that abject poverty, nothing else. So she confronted the other ladies. And that's how I was saved from marriage at the age of 13. And today my mother is 96 years old. She's still alive. She's my hero until today. And the last one, because I 2 things that I wanted to share. When I did class 8, I know Vincent talked about Florence going to a prestigious high school, the Alliance. We call it the Alliance. We went to the Alliance. I say it with a lot of pride, but where it started was not that rosy. Because I did class 8 in 1989. Yes, in 1989, I was in class 8. And my brother was in Form 1. So after class 8, well, I was told you will not go to Form 1. So when the results come, you will repeat because your brother has to finish Form 4 for you to start Form 1. So, but that didn't stop me from doing my best. So I just did my exam. I did well. I read, I prepared, I did, and I said that is it. So come January, I washed my uniforms, went back to Mwandaza Primary School, and at the very able, then now late, Mr. Kitumbui. And I went and I told the headmaster, my parents have asked me to come and repeat class 6 to allow my brother to complete Form 4 so that now I can start Form 1 because they really want me to go to school. If I stay at home, naweza changanyikiwa. Vijana wakanichanganya. I was very beautiful, by the way. Yes. So my parents said, go back to school so that you are busy, else these boys will confuse you. So I went. So the headmaster looks at me and says, I am coming to see your parents in the evening. Tomorrow don't come to school. So in the evening he came home and told my parents, unajua mtoto wenu alikuwa wa kwanza. Hii division mzima. She was the best student and she's been called to Alliance. How come you have not come to pick her admission form? And my parents told her, it's okay, you can keep the admission form. Admit her in class 6. Yeah? If she's meant to go to Alliance, after 3 years, she still get Alliance. And the headmaster was very sad and booked an appointment with our area MP then, where I was going to school because that's where my father was working. Not my real home, but where my father was working. And the MP then was CPA Matthias Care. And we went, booked an appointment, and we trekked with my mother. The distance of over 15 kilometers. We walked, we're used to walking. So we went and we explained our situation. And he said, okay, I will help. And I was given a check by none other than Dr. Chamia, the owner of Jocham Hospital today, gave me a check, a personal check of 5,777 shillings. It was the full fees for 1 year. Dr. Chamia paid for me. I've never seen Dr. Chamia. Nimemtafuta. Every time we talk on phone, I've seen him. Kwa TV, hapa na pale. He's a prominent person. God bless you, Dr. Chamia. You made me join Form 1 instead of going back to class 6. So that's how I went through Alliance. And reaching here today, for me, I tell you, I've been patting myself on the back since the day I was cleared to contest for council member in this. I said, Florence, you're supposed to have been married 35 years ago. Today, you are not just a CPA. You are not just an accountant. You are not just a deputy registrar. You are actually contesting for a position at the national level of such a prestigious profession. Let me tell you, even documenting my agenda was a struggle because I just felt like I had the push, I have the drives. Because God did not take me through all that, preserved me, saved me. I believe there is something. There's something much bigger that I'm here to fulfill. It's not even about the leadership in this park, by the way. It's not about even being a top, official somewhere. For me, it's not about any of those. I believe that God has an agenda for me to transform, to change, to make better, to make bigger, to make greater. And I walk like Moses without an AK-47. But with a rod, I go to a road. With a rod, with nothing, I walk. And a lot of challenges here. I'm happy. I'm still reaching to CPAs. With the same poster every day, I'm reaching out to CPAs. Okay? I take an SGR. Yesterday, I took an SGR, third class, to travel to come for this event. I cannot afford a flight because I am educating about 6 girls. And this week, I am paying their school fees for them to go to school. I cannot afford a flight. They have to go to school. They live in my house. They live in my house. I feed them. I dress them. I take care of them like my children. I told their parents, bring them to me. Okay? I'll bring them to you when they're fully qualified as degree holders, professionals. Wakuwe taa katika hizo nyumba zetu. Just like the way somebody held my hand one day, and today nimekuwa taa, not only in my mother's house, but in the whole community, and now in East. And better still, in the whole country, as a deputy registrar, I've done so much. Not because I want to outshine anybody, but because I believe my life is not just for that. I don't know how many years I have, but I have to make an impact. As I'm speaking here today, I am actually developing a template for financial reporting for political parties in Kenya for the first time. And they said, Registrar, give me that opportunity. I will chair that committee. I have to make that difference. I have to make that impact. And I'm doing it. So I believe that the manifesto that I'm going to launch today, driven mainly by governance, regulation, inclusivity, responsiveness. There's somebody with a voice. And sometimes the loud voices that we hear may be deafening. But in the middle of that deafening noise, there is somebody whose voice is not being heard. And we ignore them, we disregard them, and they perish. Let's be effectively and meaningfully responsive as an institute. We cannot say that we are loud enough. Are we really loud enough? Have we checked the segments of our members and confirmed everybody's voice is being raised and being heard? or we are just saying because the noise is a lot, we are okay. We are not okay. Allow me to just pick that. We are not okay. Responsiveness. We cannot have 35,000 registered members of ISPO. And every time we have an annual seminar, we are dealing with 3,000. What happens to the 32,000? Which registration number are they carrying? Is it for the engineers? Which title are they carrying? Is it doctor title or CPA title? Yet, we have not developed them. We are okay. We must come out of that kind of comfort zone. ISPAC is not about operations and surviving. It's about achieving the mandate, making sure that every accountant has been trained. Had somebody said, Alliance is full, by the way, because it was full. The class I went to was full, but I was added. Had somebody not specifically picked me and added me there, that class would not have stopped running. But there wouldn't be a Florence today here. So then we must go down and pick the stratas and make sure that we are responsive to every strata. We are not just responsive to those who are okay, but every strata. It means a lot. Accountancy is affecting every activity across the country, in the private sector, in the public sector, including households. And therefore, we cannot have accountancy of Mombasa City, accountancy of Nairobi City, and accountancy of Kisumu City, accountancy of Nakuru City. We need accountancy of Lamu County. Inclusivity, engagement, and collaboration. I wrote a speech, but I kept asking myself, do I really need to read this speech? Because speeches sometimes are just sugar-coated stories, not addressing the real issues. We tell people what they want to hear. Waswahili wanasema unachukua jipu unalipapasa, unasema ni pimple. We must stand up and boldly tell ourselves the truth. How many CPA examination centers are there in Kenya? Is there even a single CPA examination center in Lamu County? Those of us who have been cancelled, maybe you can answer me in the chat. Is there a CPA examination center in Lamu? Is there a CPA examination center in Tana River? And I'm just mentioning those two counties in Coast. I'm sure the situation is not that unique. If you go to the far-flanked counties, you will hear a similar story. Yet, there are some counties with loads of examination centers. We are told an examination center must have at least 100 students before it starts. Where will those 100 students come from? In Lamu. The cost of sitting a single section of CPA in Lamu, you cross Boni Forest. I'm sure most of us who sit in the boardroom have never even thought of that. When you go to Lamu, we take a flight. Some of us, when you go to Lamu, you drive. You reach Witu, you are told you cannot cross without a security officer, and you have to pay, even if you're on a motorbike. It's very expensive for that Kenyan in Lamu to just be a CPA part one. Inclusivity. We cannot have inclusivity when some counties are treated like they don't exist in the map of Kenya in as far as accountancy profession is concerned. That's not inclusivity. Here, Birya wengi wape in council one day. Trust God, I will make it into council because it's one of my targets to change the leadership policy. Inclusivity has to be a practical agenda, not a story on paper. not a well-researched presentation, then we come and tell people. Story ya kupumbazana. It's painful. So my agenda, responsiveness and inclusivity, is to make sure that whoever goes to sit in CASNEM from council, that person is not supposed to go and present their own position and mind. They are supposed to carry the position and the mind of the council of ISPA. I will push and make sure that as a matter of policy, together in a collaborative manner with CASNEM, that there is a policy in this country that in every county, there must be at least one CPA examination center. Mnataka governors watoe accountants wapi? Sisi accountants, mnataka governors watoe accountants wapi? You want the governor of Lam to go to ISPAC and ask them for the list of accountants, and they pick one, and one will be Anjoroge, another one will be Amweni, another one will be, I'm just saying randomly, okay? Another one will be a Florence, but who lives in Nairobi? They never go to Lam. They don't even vote in Lam because that is too far and very dangerous for them to live there. Then we lift them from there, take them to Lam, and then they occupy the plum positions in treasury. What happens to that governor in 2027? Ataenda kuomba kura kwa nani? Ataenda kuomba kura kwa wale watu wake ambao hawana accountancy professional qualifications, ama ataenda Nairobi wale aliwapatia kazi akaombe kura huko? I'm talking about engagement and collaboration in a meaningful way. ISPAC should be the last institution even to castigate governors when they get it wrong. We need to dig deep and find out what is ailing these governors. What is ailing the counties? How come their financial statements are not being signed by qualified accountants? We should not just judge them. We should develop a facilitative approach. I tell you, without even being facilitated to do the research, I did my own analysis. I picked where the problem is. Hakuna gavana wa Tana River ataenda kuchukua mtu Nairobi amwandike kazi, then next election atapigiwa kura na nani? They have to balance. The cake has been given, yeah, for Tana River. The equitable share has been given for Tana River. And then you want the governor to say there are no professionals in Tana River, akachukue maloya, IHRM members, akachukue kila mtu kutoka Nairobi, I export sasa, I import alete. Then 2027, ataenda kuomba kura kwa nani? The same unqualified people. So instead of us sitting down and questioning governors every time, why they are not employing accountants, let us also embrace inclusivity. Let's avail accountants in Tana River. Let's avail accountants in Lamu by making sure that examination centers are set up as a matter of policy, not a favor. Let us have strong working field offices. We have branches. And I've put it there under collaboration and engagement. And I'm just going straight because I know people are a bit tired. And I don't want to lose my key message by reading a lot of sugar-coated stories in the form of speeches. That is never my business. I deal with issues, solution-oriented, focused. So if we have a branch, let us, for heaven's sake, capacity build and equip, facilitate, empower that branch so that it can effectively deliver the mandate of the institute. Because we've done the bulk of the work, there's a very small bit that is missing. We pay rent, we pay utility bills, okay? We have furnished the offices, but then who is running that office? Who is manning that office? Is it somebody who can engage effectively with the county commissioner? Is it somebody who can effectively engage with the with the governor, with the speaker of the county assembly, or whenever there is a meeting with the speaker of the county assembly, somebody has to take a flight from Nairobi to that particular county, come and articulate an issue. Yet there is an officer, an office on the ground. When I joined ORPP, I was given that mandate of supervising field services coordination. And I was very passionate about ensuring that our services reach Kenyans on the ground, wherever they are. And one of the things that we had to establish in policy was that that office would not be manned with somebody with a qualification below a degree. Because qualification means a lot. And today, without bragging, we have very vibrant field offices. Very vibrant field offices. When I go to Garissa, I don't call the governor. I don't call the speaker. My young lady Ifra will be there and tell me, Madam, I've drafted a letter, please sign. I take it to the governor, to the speaker. And when I have an event, we'll even start with a courtesy call. And the governor will say, I have to come. That lady insisted I must attend because the people you're going to address are my people. That's what she told me. So I must also address them. Let's put officers that have the capacity to effectively engage with the stakeholders at that level. It will be very cost effective, but also it will be a daily thing. And therefore, it will be more impactful. I'm talking about transformation. We cannot do things the same way and expect different results. There is a lot that we can do. And the opportunities are enormous. But we must come out of the conventional ways of doing things. It's good to negotiate, but it's very important to put things in black and white. And that's why I talked about regulation. A lot of our employed accountants are suffering, especially those of us who are in government. We're suffering. You are employed as a director, treasury. Then after you leave your lucrative finance manager job, you go and become a director, for example, treasury. You think it's a promotion. Then after 2 months, you are transferred to become the director ECD. Yes. And there is nothing that can be done. You know why? Because those accountants are not protected in regulation. If they were protected in regulation, I've never seen a teacher, even a primary school teacher, who has been transferred to go and become a nurse. Even if there is a nurse in that high school, you'll never see a teacher who has been deployed to become a nurse. It will never be. But accountants, watapigwa hivi. Because our roles are not protected in black and white. They need to be protected. Regulation. There is a place for negotiation. There is a place for sweet talk. And there is a place for hard decisions and properly anchor them in law. We need a regulation for accountants in employment. We need it. It should not be a favor that accountants are being treated well, those who are employed. And I know the worst casualties are those employed in government. And with my deep knowledge, experience, both at technical and policy level, I believe that I will bring in a lot of value in ensuring that that is realized, it becomes a reality for accountants in public sector. There is no conflict. I want to put that record very straight. That if I'm working in government and I become a council member, I am conflicted. I cannot exercise independence. I cannot exercise objectivities. We have independent commissions in government, and they're running independently. The Constitution is very clear. Once you've been appointed, then you are no longer, your allegiance is no longer to the appointing office. It is to the people and the Constitution of Kenya. So we know that. Give us a chance. I have a lot of wealth of experience in policy formulation. Where I am at ORPP, because that's a policy level I hold as a deputy registrar. I have, from the day I was employed, and I had about 3 months of learning to date, I was given the responsibility of steering policy development, and I've developed 17 policies, each policy with a corresponding SOP. Because you cannot have an institution properly anchored without policies. Policies standardize operation. Policies create objectivity. It's not what I think. It's not about whether I want to do it for you or not. There's a policy which prescribes how things must be done. It's good governance. Integrity should not be left to those who have integrity as a value. At least it should be checked by provisions. I'm talking about regulation formulation. And I think those of us who are at the ISPAC head office, they know. Every time they call for comments on draft amendment bills or bills that are being discussed in Parliament, and the input of ISPAC is required, CP Florence is always there, because that is my niche area. The ongoing amendment of the Accountants Act, I've actually done a memorandum. I did almost an 8-page memorandum. I read page by page, and they gave me memorandum. Probably some of you did not even realize in one of the committees being established, there was no vice chair. Okay, there is the appeals board, and I think the disciplinary committee, which is being reconstituted in law. There was no vice chair. There is that issue. How can you have a committee with a chair without a vice chair, or without a provision on how the members will elect a vice chair when they come into office? Does it mean when the chair is not there, there's no business running? It takes somebody who has experience perusing draft with a toothpick to see whether really these laws are serving the needs and aspirations of accountancy and accountants. There are some documents that I believe should never be outsourced to a consultant. One of them is a policy. The development of a policy should never be outsourced. Out of the 17 policies we've developed, we never outsourced even a single policy document development. And what has that done? It has actually developed the capacity of the officers. Because as they're doing it themselves, their capacity is also developing. And that is building internal capacity. We are talking about making operations of ISPAC efficient. And for me, I'm saying that is one of the ways. Innovation. It doesn't have to be technology alone. Okay? When you build internal capacity, because consultancies are very expensive. And if every document we are doing, we have to engage a consultant, we will increase the fees for CPD points and workshops, and we will never have a budget enough. My proposal is, let's build the capacity of the ISPAC staffs. We have a sufficient pool of staff. Let's build the relevant capacities. Let them sit down and work. Okay? Let them sit down and work. And they know they're very capable. Let's trust them with that responsibility. Let's trust the skills and the knowledge they have. And where there's some knowledge lacking, let's train them. And then we stop this business of consulting everything. Because we'll never, with consultancy, you will never have a budget allocation enough. Every year it keeps going. We're talking about global opportunities. There are very many global opportunities, but local opportunities are equally many. How have we seized local opportunities for accountants? That is one of my focus areas under engagement and collaboration. The moment we streamline legal framework, the moment we work in facilitation, because governors need to be understood. The moment we understand, you give the governor of LAM 5 accountants, 10 accountants from LAM, atawaandika kazi, atawaacha. Then we truly create opportunities for our young accountants. Where are these many jobless young accountants? Are they in LAM? Are they in Tanarifa? Are they in Turkana? They're not. Okay? Where there are more accountants, we build more. Kindly, I'm requesting. Let's diversify. Let's spread these accountants' engagement. So as we look for opportunities outside, let's also exhaust the opportunities within Kenya. Because this country called Kenya will not be developed by strangers. National development is the responsibility of Kenyans, including accountants. So we cannot say we'll focus on opportunities outside Kenya. Na hii Kenya itajengwa na nani? So Kenya anza kuleta wa China sasa because sisi tumeenda kwengine. It's our responsibility. Yes, there are opportunities out there, but we have to let's exhaust the opportunities within Kenya because those are not just employment opportunities. They are opportunities for professionals to contribute in the national development of our country. And it's only us who can do it best. Those foreigners cannot do it like us because we do it with passion. They will not do it with passion. Accountability and professionalism. Where is the gap? We have very many CPD points opportunities. Yet, levels of compliance are still very low. What is the problem? Professionalism. Upholding the highest levels of professional practices and conduct. There is a difference between me having 40 CPD points and me properly being updated on my knowledge and skills to be able to comply with the standards of professionalism in accountants. And we need to strike a balance. For me, my analysis has given me that we have been focusing so much about you have 40 CPD points. This one has 50 CPD points. It's not about CPD points. It's about updating the knowledge. I went to campus. I left the University of Nairobi Lower Kabete Campus School of Business in 1999. Today in Kenya, there's a new constitution. Today in Kenya, there's the PFM Act, which we were never taught. Today in Kenya, there's a new Procurement Act. Today in Kenya, we're talking about accrual accounting. I never did that for government. When I was being taught about government accounting, I was taught about cash basis, not accrual. So when somebody just holds kikapu kimejaa CPD points, lakini kwa kichwa hakuna which professionalism do we expect? What quality of accounts do you expect them to produce? When they ask questions in parliament, what kind of responses do you expect them to give? An embarrassment to the profession and to the institute. Yet they are also individually being humiliated. We need to save our members from that. And then we call them and ask them very hard questions, including proposing we need to take disciplinary measures on these accountants who embarrassed them, who embarrassed the profession in Senate. That's where most of the governors are taken to. We need to develop a facilitative approach and not a caning approach. When we are looking at performance, accountability, when we are looking at accountability, sorry, I think I need to also look at the time. We're looking at accountability. At the end of the year, we need to ask ourselves, at the end of every event, we need to ask ourselves, how many accountants? We should not be recycling the same accountants. accountability. When we are targeting to train 10,000 accountants in 1 year, how do we count the 10,000 accountants? Is it that we take seminar 1, seminar 2, seminar 3, we add? Or then do we do data analysis? Because every one of us candidates, we are talking about technology and innovation. How do we use that? When I train political parties, I even put them in cohorts because I know I cannot train all the 100 political parties in one row. So I'll say from number this to number this, cohort 1, this date, cohort 2, because I have to be sure I've trained all the 100, not just 100 with some overlapping. And I'm saying the number totals to 100. No, I must touch each and every one of them. That is the clear approach. Integrity. Let's talk about integrity, even in accountability. Integrity. It's very important. Integrity is about doing the right thing, not because nobody's seeing you. Because we keep saying that integrity is doing the right thing even when nobody's seeing you. No. Integrity is about doing the right thing, even when nobody's seeing you. And when there is every opportunity, there is every pressure and temptation to do otherwise. Resist. That capacity to resist is what we really need to develop as accountants, whether in the institute or wherever we are. And corruption in this country will go low. We will have the moral authority to correct things. We have the power as accountants to change the direction of this country. We keep telling ourselves we are no longer the figure crunchers. We are advisors. I wish that was a practical statement, not a lip service. We think that, yet we see the things that continue to happen. Because most of us, we fear we might be victimized. What mechanisms we need to have for feedback, to hear views, and to make sure that every voice is considered when it comes to making decisions on the table. Technology and innovation. I don't think this one is a straightforward thing. Today, technology. It is either you align and exist, survive and thrive, or you resist and you perish. Okay. When I was coming here, I tried to do a speech, by the way. And I did my speech last night when I was in the train. Because third class is very uncomfortable. Okay. I could not sleep. And you know, some things are a blessing. So I told God, thank you. Because I cannot sleep, let me do. I had about 4 versions of my speech. Yeah. I even have some of the speeches in Kiswahili. Very good Kiswahili. AI. Technology. Shape in, ship in, or shape out. We must embrace technology. And that technology is not because it is happening everywhere. We must embrace it meaningfully everywhere we are, including in the institute, efficiency, including where we are working as accountants. Are we adding that value? Are we assisting our organizations to achieve 3 times what it used to achieve with the same amount of budget because we have embraced technology? FCPA Farhin here talked about during my tenure as a chair that I did a lot of Zoom meetings. And by the way, I never told you that I had to sit with my son to teach me how to host a Zoom meeting. I would tell kina FCPA, Dalton, ngojeni kidogo nasaidiwa hapa host. Because I knew I had to survive. And until today, I do so many things using technology. I head the ICT department. And the ICT manager, I oversee. And the ICT manager, usually when he has a proposal, he has to come to me. He says, Madam is not an ICT expert, but she understands these things. I've taken time to research, get information, and to embrace technology. A lot of things that we can achieve from there. And that should not be a story that we talk about. It's something that with my leadership in council, it will have to become a reality. It has to become a reality. Because if CPD points, cost has to come down, something must be done differently. Because I think the cry about costly CPD events is deafening. Even the deaf can hear, it is too loud. We cannot be that unresponsive. Coming in, I'll be very responsive, by the way. Very responsive. Because I know I hold monthly meetings with all the field officers virtually. When we have a new policy, we train everybody virtually. We have never had a meeting where we are coming to train officers on a new document. We hold a virtual training, even if it's for 2 days. It's become very cheap to do those trainings. So CPD points must come down. Truth be said, we must be responsive. And they have a whole raft of proposals, practical strategies. And I'm saying this, and people, somebody asked me, unajua CPA ni vile hauko kwa council. Ukiwa kwa council, things will be different. I said, no, maybe with somebody else, not with me. When we have a national CPD seminar, we don't need every council member to come. I know they will say they don't all come, but somehow they come a lot. We can adjust that, fellow council members to be. We can adjust that. I've been saying this, during my tenure, we tried it and we did it. That when we have an event, for example, at the coast, we have the branch executive committee members. They can chair those sessions really. We don't have to put somebody in a flight to come and chair a session. We have the committee, council committee members, empower them. They can chair those sessions. We don't have to incur costs of putting somebody in a KQ flight. Alafu akuja alale White Sands for 5 days. Okay? I don't think free CPD points is tenable. It can happen once, twice, but not sustainable. But we can purposefully reduce the cost. Okay? Not about thinking about ourselves. And I will do it, by the way. I will do it. When I was the chair of Coast Branch, I got over 7 opportunities in the midst of COVID-19. FCP Dalton, did I appoint myself to anything? Did I? Was there a member of anybody that requested for East Park Coast Branch to nominate somebody? Was I a member? I was never. And even during your time, by the way, you were a member, but you were directly appointed by the governor because he saw the pro bono work you did. So, and those positions, earn them yourself as a person, but we cannot be appointing ourselves everywhere. That's why members feel like this is not for us. I got a very plum opportunities at Mombasa County to appoint a member to the Mombasa County Public Service Board. Siningeandika tu kwetu wote. Yeah, I was given that opportunity. I gave it to CPA Yusuf. I did not appoint myself. In Kwale, I was given 2 slots when the municipality boards were being established. Okay? And Kwale people, nobody knows. I would have appointed myself. I did not. I told these guys, mufanye huko Ivenu Fairness, munipatie majina na everybody akuwe ako sawa, mupost kwa mtandao, kila mtu aseme ni sawa, munipatie, niandikie FCPA Makori, the CEO then, that these are the people need to be nominated. That happened. I did not. Because I believe leadership is not about me. It is about the people. Yeah. And if I did it then, I can do it now. So I want to come to East Park asking for this opportunity to serve as a council member. Because at a time like this, I strongly feel within me, I have something that can help East Park transform to what members, including Kenyans, are hoping to see in East Park. Not the only one, but I believe I bring a blend. With my coming in, I bring a blend. I bring that rare mix that has always lacked. Not because of me alone, but 99 shillings without 1 shilling, you'll never have 100. I want to top up that mix so that it becomes perfectly 100. I bring in policy experience. I bring in legislative formulation, knowledge, and expertise. I bring in very senior level public sector expertise. They say the wearer of the shoe knows where it pinches. We need a senior public sector officer in council to articulate very deep issues that accountants in the public sector are going through. There are some things you will never establish through a survey. Watu hawatakwambia. Watanyama? For fear of victimization, because they know. There are some issues when you articulate them. Nitakwambia hizi ni za ORPP. Hii ni ya Kilifi County. So somebody will fear. You need to have somebody who has been there, who is there to articulate them in council, so that we have inclusive decisions that favor everybody. In 2018, all heads of finance were sent home, all of them. And they said there's nothing like corporate corruption. Does it exist? It isn't. And the Constitution is very clear. You are innocent until proven guilty. Why were we sent home? And I raised that matter. Why were we sent home? I raised the matter, by the way, with my board. I raised the matter with the head of public service then. And believe me, I was not sent home. I continued working because I said, I have my constitutional rights. I was not sent home. And I asked myself, I think if I was in ISPA Council, I would have used the same vigor and the same argument, and probably I would have saved all the accountants. Who knows what will happen again next time? Okay? So we need somebody. I'm not saying one over all, somebody from the public sector, senior, high level, policy, experience, like Florence. I've risen up the ranks from accountant one to director of finance and administration. I know it all. I need to be there. There are some things we need to set straight, and it will be to the benefit of everybody. And by the way, I never shine above my bosses. I don't. I never shine above my bosses. That's not my business. My business is to transform, make change, and move on, not to outshine anybody. I do not exist to outshine anybody. I do not exist to make somebody's star dim. I exist to make my star brighter and make another person's star brighter. And together we have a very bright world where everybody is walking in freedom and in prosperity. So I will stop at that. And once again, ask for your vote. Vote CPA Florence Birya. I may not have a constituent in Coast to give me a winning vote, but my constituency belongs to the whole country. Give me the opportunity. Give me the opportunity. And we'll come to have another discussion later, and probably it will be another story of a successful and thriving ISPAC. You may have noticed I do not speak English with the tongue of the queen or the king. Okay? But one thing I can promise you, CPA Florence Birya got the content. Got the content. If need be, I am not ashamed to articulate my content in Swahili. It's a national language anyway. Sure. Vote CPA Florence Birya. For ISPAC Council member. Vote the transformational leader. Vote the great agenda. Let's vote the great ISPAC that we all want, that is there for everybody, and for the national building of our motherland, Kenya. Thank you, and God bless you.
is where we give a standing ovation. Standing ovation. Standing ovation. Remain there. You come and greet us. You come and greet us. All of us now. Let's come forward. Let's greet Cyprian Florence, Birya, and Manifesto. Let's have
All the best. All the way. All the best. All the best. Thank you. Thank you.
On this particular
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. So we have this. We can pick this.
Okay.
That is her. That is her. That's how
All for you, man.
Nikisema inspired by change, tunasema enabled by experience. Wacha tuone kama tunashika. Inspired by change.
Enabled by experience.
Simple Florence, Birya, inspired by change.
Enabled by experience.
Inspired by change.
Enabled by experience.
Florence,
Birya.
Council,
Member.
wacha hiyo pizza basi. Zote mnena. Wewe ndio unastahili. Oh, in life.
Tuko hapa.
Usikie tupatie baraka. Tupatie baraka za Mwenyezi Mungu.
Thank you. Thank you.
Na sisi
Thank you.
amepata
Thank you.
kitu.
Thank
Ladies and
you.
gentlemen, blessing, Cyprian, Florence,
Birya.
Council,
Member. Thank you. Is back.
Fantastic. Endelea kucheza pamoja sasa na tuweze kufurahi kwa pamoja. Sawa, unaachilia. Very well. I've just been guided and that's the part of the team. That's the part of the team. We want to officially, as Coast Branch, endorse the candidature of CPF Florence.
Wow.
So, tunataka tuseme tutazungumza kwa pamoja. We shall say, we, in rehearsal, we as the Coast Branch members officially endorse CPA Florence Birya for council member 2025 up to 2027. Imeenda sawa? Tumeshika. Haya, tunaanza sasa. Wacha waweke record ready. Okay. Are we good? CPA Emma? Coming live from Kenya in hotel on this beautiful 30th day as we wrap April and get ready for the first of May, we are here. Now, this is where we take the declaration. We, as the Coast Branch members, do we will take that again. I will say that tushike tutarudia wote pamoja. We, as the Coast Branch members, do endorse CPA Florence Birya for Council Member 2025 to 2027 of the Institute of Certified